To cloud. So, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Money Mantra. I know it's been a while, guys, but today we are actually on the charts, right? We are not off the charts today. If you guys have not had a chance to check out any of the my other training videos, make sure that you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. You can subscribe below. You can like, comment, share, and also you can hit the notification bell so that you never miss any updates whenever I do post a video. If you haven't had a chance to check out Off the Charts for the last 5 weeks, we are still working on our The Science of Getting Rich series by Wallace D. Waddle. So it's really been amazing. Just a lot of great things coming from the Cosmic Club. You can also follow the Cosmic Club on Instagram at the Cosmic Club, right, for more entrepreneurial motivation and updates. But I miss you guys, and today I am back with a live training. So we are going to be looking at some strategies and to see what is the best way to actually trade on trend to make sure we're not missing those opportunities to get those really great positions. Whether you're doing FRX or HFX, I think we're going to focus on HFX today. You can definitely apply the information that I'm going to show you to make sure that you understand what you're looking at, right? Because it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple, guys. It may be a learning curve if you've never done anything like this before. However, it's still pretty simple. So here we go. If you guys can see my screen, just go ahead and drop some sevens in the chat. Let me know. Let me know. I believe all the messages are coming to me, so I can see them. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. And good afternoon, Jordan. So there we go. So first and foremost, we are going to be focusing on HFX today. HFX is short for high frequency trading. And it's a style of trading that anybody can learn to do within the foreign exchange market. The foreign exchange market is the largest financial market in the entire world. That just means that there's a lot of money moving through this particular channel. And the reason is because it's focused on all of the currencies in every country or almost every country whose currency is live online. When you travel, if you have ever had to exchange your money, if you went to a different place and you may feel like you're getting more or less, but you're really just getting the current value of that money. Now, when we're trading in the foreign exchange market, we're trading currency prices against each other based on if they're going up or if they're going down, which is why I like trading this way because I can profit no matter which way the market is going, right? Versus stocks, you get in, if it goes up, you make money. If it goes down, you are going to lose money, which isn't a bad thing. There are infinite ways to invest. However, within the foreign exchange market, you can profit off of both sides. So it's really amazing. So first and foremost, what you want to do before you actually get into any trades, and this is a step that you should never miss, is you always want to check the news, right? You kind of want to check the temperature of the market to see what's going on. Is this actually a really good time for me to be trading? Are there any things that I should be aware about that may throw off my analysis? But I just use forexfactory.com. There's a lot of different websites you can use, but this has been the one I've been using since I've been trading for about 2 years now, right? Because it's pretty simple and it's pretty straightforward. Now, what you're looking for when you visit this website is you always want to make sure that you are checking today's date. It is Friday, February 18th. And then you want to just keep your eye out for any red folders. You don't want to see any red folders because it's just giving you, it's like a red flag. It's just giving you a signal that there is going to be a little bit of volatility in the market right now. And that can also throw off your analysis. So although you may check a lot of boxes like, okay, I got my confirmations, if you forget to check the news, something really unexpected could happen, and that can cause you to get spiked out of the trade, or it can cause your trade to go the complete opposite direction of the position that you selected, right? So I always just like to draw and demonstrate because it's always going to be somebody's first time watching a video. What we're looking for within these colored folders, right? Now, if you see a red folder, right, first and foremost, let me draw what the market should be moving like. So typically you'll see action like this within the market, right? And I'll highlight this on the candles when we go to the chart. And I'll also highlight it on my broker, right? I'm going to be using pocket option today. So this is pretty nice market movement, right? It's just going up and down. Now, what these spikes or what these peaks and valleys actually represent are points where you should be selling, right? Because you want to sell when it's high, you want to buy when it's low. Now, I just put these lines here to demonstrate how the market may be acting if there is some high impact news that comes out. So remember, the top line is typically going to be where we sell. It'll be these points, right? And then the bottom line is typically going to be where we buy, and it's going to be represented by these points. Now, in a red folder market, you may find that the market is acting completely out of whack, and that's not what you want, right? You want to have a little bit of expectancy in what you're doing because it's all risk management. Now, the second color folder that you do have is an orange folder. And this is just kind of like all right, you just want to be a little bit careful because remember, we're expecting the market to hit this point, right? To sell, and then to hit this point to buy, this point to sell, this point to buy. Now, there may be periods of time where the market actually breaks structure, right? More than usual. And that's what you're looking for with these orange folders. You just know, okay, the market may break structure, but I can trust this a little bit more. And last but not least, we have these yellow folders, which is going to give you the most consistent market movement. Now, no market is perfect. You will have these little breakout moments, but they're not going to be so frequent and they're not going to be so extreme, right? So to sum it up, when you see a yellow folder, that's a thumbs up that, all right, I want to start here. This is a nice start for my analysis. And if we don't see any folder at all, that's even better because it means that there's nothing that can blindside you while you're doing your analysis. So if that makes sense, everybody, just go ahead and drop some sevens in the chat, right? Because all this is an important part of trading. It's not just about hopping into your trades. It's not just about trying to get rich overnight. It's about understanding what you're looking at and why you're even taking the time to do this analysis, right? Now, the second thing I like to check, and you can check this whether you're doing Forex or FRX, is the currency strength meter. And this is just going to give you also a little bit more information about, okay, what is the market actually doing right now? So let me just go back here really quickly. So the ones we can look out for, well, it's way past the time. So I would say we're in the clear for everything. Now, when you're looking at this, there's always going to be two currencies in the currency pair. The first currency is your base currency. The second currency is your quote currency. Now, if the base has more bars than the quote, it's just letting you know that this market may have more buyers in it than sellers, which means that you're going to have more opportunities to buy once the market drops down. And if the quote currency has more bars than the base currency, then that's pretty much letting you know that there are a lot of sellers in the market and you should focus on more opportunities to actually get in once the market is high because you know that it's going to drop back down. So that's just a quick step. I'll also drop this link in the chat as well, or you guys can screenshot it, or if you just Google live charts currency strength meter, it should take you directly to this page, right? Now, the broker that we're using is pocketoption.com. You may have something different, so the numbers may vary just a little bit, but that's okay. And the scanner that I'm actually going to be using to enter into my trades is the Liberty Scanner, which is a product that is offered through I Am Mastery Academy. I Am Mastery Academy offers an elite trading program that teaches you how to analyze the market. You can get into this market, you can get into crypto market, and there's just a bunch of different things you can do to learn how to actually make money using things you already have, like your Wi-Fi, a phone, a laptop. So it's really convenient. They do most of the work for you. Now on Pocket Option, we want to make sure when we select a currency that we're going to be getting our money's worth. Oops, I didn't send this link to you guys. Sorry. There we go. You want to make sure that you're getting your money's worth. So you always want to make sure that it's above 70%. Now, if you are already in a currency pair and the price drops, you already did your analysis, you don't feel like doing anything extra, then of course you can trade under 70 if you want. You can actually do what you want all the time, but just to make sure you're getting your bang for your buck, try to stay above 70. So I'm just going to start with Cad Jpy. Cad Jpy is just the Canadian dollar because remember, we're dealing with currencies. It's the Canadian dollar versus the Japanese yen, right? So if it's going up, if you see this dot on your chart going up, well, if your chart doesn't look like this, you can click here where it says, well, mine is a graph. Yours may be on candles. It may be on Hakanashi candles. It may be on bars, depending on your preference. But I just like to look at the line because for Pocket Option, all I need to know is this dot above or below my entry to know if I'm going to clear that trade, right? So I have it online because I like it that way. And even here, we can see those movements in the market like I drew out earlier, right? We see these high points where we know we're going to sell. And look, at this high point, we can see that the market, well, let's look here. We can see that the market actually dropped down, and then it created a low point, which was going to allow us to buy, right? So these peaks, right, when you see the peak at the top, that's just letting you know, okay, this is a nice place to sell, because the market will revisit that area. That's the thing. You think that, okay, just because it's been in that zone before, I missed my opportunity, but that's not true. The whole point of doing your analysis is to see where the market had the same type of activity before, so that you can put yourself in a better position to get in once it's back at that place. Right now, if that makes sense, everybody just drop some sevens in the chat. If that makes sense. Right? It's all about, again, putting yourself in a position to make the best move, right? Sorry, I'm trying to move some stuff off my screen. All right, there we go. So just by looking at this, we can see that the market is going up. We can see that the market is going down. And we can literally see that once the market gets to this peak again, right, we know that we can probably get in for a sell. But let's actually collect some more information about this trade to even see if that would be the wave, right? Because now we're looking at CAD JPY. Let's go to our currency strength meter. And we see with CAD JPY, right, we see that the Canadian dollar, which is the base currency in this example, is lower than the JPY, which is the quote currency in this example. So would you guys say that there are more opportunities to buy in this market right now, or more opportunities to sell? Right, just based on this, right? So we got sell, right? Yep, sell. Yep, exactly. Now let's head back to the Liberty Scanner. Now when you log into the Liberty Scanner, it's automatically going to take you to this strategy, which is called the Webslinger. Through this program, within the HFX on this scanner, you have 4 different strategies that you can use. So there's Simple Scalper, there's Simple Scalper 2.0, there's Pickpocket, and there's Webslinger. Today we're going to use Webslinger because we're talking about trading on trend, and Webslinger is a strategy that's best used for a trending market. Now, a trending market just means that it's been doing the same thing for a while, right? It's been either selling for a while or buying for a while. And Webslinger makes it really easy to find those entry points and to collect evidence of if a market is trending or not. So once you log in, you choose your strategy. You want to make sure that you're also analyzing the same currency pair that is selected on pocket option. So I'm gonna click here. Well, anywhere on my screen, I'm gonna type in CAD JPY, right? And because this is HFX, which is high frequency trading, this just means that we're going to be in our trades for a short amount of time, right? Some people are going to select 1 minute, some people are going to select 3 minutes, some people might even select 15 minutes, but either way is better than waiting 2 weeks for a paycheck or waiting for any type of money when you can just have that profits in a short amount of time. So when I start my analysis, I always start on M5, right? So you can select anyone that says M5. And M5 just means that the frequency at which we're going to be able to have an updated analysis and into these trades is going to be about every 5 minutes. Now, when you're looking at the web slinger, you're going to notice you only really see 2 colors, right? You see red and you see blue. If you see red, that just means that the market is trending down, right? It means that although there are some opportunities to buy, it's a lot of selling action going on right now. So we know we want to focus on the sell, right? And that further confirms what we already saw once we check the currency strength meter. Now, I'm going to zoom out a little bit, right? Just to show you guys that it's really 2 things that you want to look for on the web slinger before you decide to make your move. Now, if you're looking for a sell, in this case we are, you're going to ask yourself 2 questions. The first question is, are my candles right below the red lines? Right? Are my candles, and let me drop this in the chat, are my candles below the red lines? Right? Because once you see that, these are over 20 different indicators, right? It's between 15 and 20 different indicators that's all telling you the same thing. It's telling you that the price is below the trend, which means that we're going to continue to sell, right? Let's just say if this was for every 100 candles, this was for every 50 candles, this was for every 20 candles, this was for every 10 candles. Is the price still going down? Yes, it is, right? Yes, it is. So that's a great indicator that the market is trending if you find that the candles are forming either completely below, right, for a sell, or completely above for a buy, right? This is a beautiful sell example. I'm gonna just get my highlighter here, and we can see that the selling trend really got strong here. Well, it really started here, right? We can see once the candles crossed under all the lines. It's a great indicator. It's so easy to read, and all you have to do is log in and look at it, right? And then not only that, we can see that once this cloud, right? This is our second question. Are the candles below the red cloud? Right? Are the candles below the red cloud? Right? And if you get a yes, right, we got a double yes here. We have the candles forming under those lines and under the red cloud. And then we can see, look how strong this red candle was, right? Because we had everything we needed to know. And then the trend continued to actually drop, right? Because if you would have asked yourself those questions, are my candles below the red lines? Yes, right? Is it under the red cloud? Yes, right? And then look here, under all the lines, under the cloud, right? And then we have this selling motion. If this makes sense, right? And you guys can see that, just drop some sevens in the chat. All right, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here. Since we know we should be looking for a sell, now what we want to do, and this is extremely important as well, we want to really start to find support and resistance within the market so that we can actually figure out when was the last time that the market actually had that peak high. So next time it revisits that point, I know that I should get in for a sell because I have my confirmations on the Webslinger, right? Now, to set up the support and resistance is super, super, super easy. Most times when you're trading on a small scale, you can only use up to two lines, right? Two horizontal lines just to pretty much create that area that you want to focus on. Now, what you want to do is simply just draw your eyes to an area of the market where you see that shape forming. So I'm just going to go here, right? I'm going to just draw up, right? And I'm literally just going to make that MW shape on all the points that I see. So I'm pretty much going to the lowest point, right? Then I'm going to a high point. Then I'm going to a low point, and I'm going to a high point. And then I'm going to a low point, a high point, and a low point, right? If you guys understand why I made my points there, just drop some sevens in the chat, right? Because it's important, like once you're able to actually identify that pattern with your naked eye, it's going to be so much easier for you to actually get into these trades, right? So now I just drew that with my pencil, and now I'm actually going to put a horizontal line there so that we can see and predict our entry point. Because once you actually use the horizontal line tool and you put it here, wherever you put that line is going to give you a number, right? And that number is going to give you a place to sell, right? It's going to say, okay, at 353 or higher, we know the market might make that move, right? So that's a little bit high. So we're going to put another horizontal line, right, on another peak that we saw, right, which is around 309, right? Then we're going to take a line, and you pretty much just going to put these horizontal lines at these places where you see these peaks, right? Now I'm going to go ahead and delete this drawing, right? Because now we've set up our support and resistance, right? We've set up our support and resistance. And the thing I also like about this too is that you can draw even smaller sections because we're working on a small time frame. So again, we have a low point, a high point, a low point, a high point, right? So I can draw that, and then I can put another horizontal line right there. Oops. I can put another horizontal line right there, right? And we can say when the market gets to, you can say 286 or higher, right? Or you can say anywhere between 286 and 309, right? Because we also know that there was some resistance levels there, right? There were some opportunities to sell. So we can say 286 or higher, right? Anywhere between 286 and 309. I would say the higher the better. But once you actually get that quick analysis, you put your lines on the chart, you just come back to pocket option, right? And then you would just wait for the market to get back into that zone, right? We said 286 or higher, right? Or anywhere between 286 and 309. Right now, imagine if we would have taken that trade right now, we would be in profit. So just to review pocket option really quickly while we wait, you always want to make sure that your time frame is selected, right? You can do M1, which means you'll be in your trade for 1 minute. You can do M3, which means you'll be in your trade for 3 minutes, and so on and so forth, right? All the way up to 4 hours, but you don't really want to stay in a high frequency trade that long. You also want to make that your risk, you want to make sure that your risk amount is appropriate to your account size, right? So you don't have to risk $100. Just risk about, I would say, no more than 5% per trade, because then you can compound and make your money back quicker. So don't rush to lose money, is my advice here. So as we can see, we just waiting for the market to hit that point, that 286, right? Or between 286 and 309. And then of course that will be our opportunity to get into the trade. As you guys can see, if we had gotten into the trade already, we would be in profit, because as if we would have gotten for a sell, the market is currently below that entry point. So it's at 278 right now. And the reason why you shouldn't rush or just click it is because the market will revisit that place again. That's the purpose of doing your analysis. Don't think that you missed the opportunity just because you didn't get into it at that precise moment, because it will go back, which is going to be demonstrated here. So we can see that the market is around pocket option. I mean, the Liberty scanner is actually doing a live scan of the market. We can see that it's saying that it's around 271. We really don't want to change anything. We don't want to lower our entry point. We don't want to rush the trade. We just want to be patient, right? Because patience pays. And then of course, like I demonstrated at the beginning of this session, whenever you see that the candles are between two lines, you can sell at this top line and you can buy at this bottom line. But since we have so many confirmations that are literally like overwhelmingly for the sell, we're just gonna wait it out, right? Now you can be a little risky if you want, and you can get in for a potential buy around 240. But since this is a selling market and we're talking about the trend, we don't really want to make any risky moves like that. Now, if you want to actually, hopefully it's still there and it didn't go away. Hold up, y'all. All right, my analysis went away, but we already know where we should be at. And let's see where the market. Okay, look, it's at 281 right now, 282. Right? We know it's going to drop back down, but we do just want to actually wait for it to get in the selling zone. Right? If you got it now, the market may shoot up on you, and that's just not what you want to happen. Alternatively, if you don't want to wait, you can also set, oh, see, look, there it is, 286, right? So if we take it for a 1 minute sell, right, and I'll also get in for a 3 minute sell as well, it's already in profit, right? It's already in profit, but it's going to go back up, which we know, right? Because it's going to get back to that 309 zone. So I'm going to get in for a 3 minute trade and a 1 minute trade. And both of my trades were entered within that zone, right? So if you guys did get into that trade, drop your entry point. We know that the market is actually trying to climb up to 309 and then potentially all the way back up to 360, right? But we're going to trade on trend, right? We're just going to stick with the trend. And if you guys did get into the trade, just drop your entry point. And we're going to see what happens, right? We're really going to see what happens. Because I got 20 seconds left. I can't sing, y'all, so it's okay though. I just need to make sure that I record this. If the market don't play me out, ooh, it don't like it's gonna play me today. I be talking to myself when I trade, y'all, but here we go, guys. In the live session, clearing 180 in 1 minute on the demo accounts. Yes, Webslinger analysis. So yeah, guys, Margaret, you should definitely clear or be in profit. How long did you stay in your trade for? How long did you choose to be in your trade? And this is a perfect demonstration, guys. As you can see, we got in for the 1 minute trade. The 1 minute trade pretty much cleared within 1 minute. The risk was $100 for a payout of 80%. Hence is why we cleared $180 in 1 minute. Now for the second trade, it's just a demonstration that you can be in the trade for longer than 1 minute. Right now, Margaret selected 3 minutes for her trade. I'm in this second trade for 3 minutes. And that's another cool thing about HFX is that you can be in as many trades as you want, as long as you're not over leveraging or doing too much. As long as you're not doing too much. So we have about a minute left on this trade. And it's looking like it's going to clear, but this market is very unpredictable. However, right, we have a higher chance at clearing because we traded with the trend, right? We checked the news. We said, okay, there was nothing sketchy about this currency pair. We checked the currency strength meter, which was our first indicator that this is a selling market, and we all got it right, right? We all got it right. The next thing we saw was that the candles were literally forming under all of the trend lines, telling us that this market is really in some heavy selling action right now, and that's what we like to see, right? This makes your trading so much easier, right? So much simpler because you're not confused about what's going on. If everything is going in the same direction, then that's the direction that you want to go in as well, right? So we have about 2 seconds left on this trade. And I don't know if that one cleared. Well, that one didn't clear for me, but that's perfectly fine, right? Because it went up at the last minute and we know what it's trying to do, right? It's going to get back to that 309 zone. So that's the next area that I would suggest that everybody put in a position, right? Around 310, 309, 310. So congratulations, Margaret. She cleared both of her trades. And it's really that simple, guys. You want to stick with what's going on in the market. And you don't want to do anything extra. Now look at this. Now, we don't want to keep clicking the sell button because remember, we saw that the market revisited that previous entry points. We were able to take advantage of that zone, which is amazing. So now we know that it's going to try to get to the other zone, right? My markings went away, but if you guys remember, we had a position at um 309, we had a position at 286, we had a position, there we go, right? So we would want to also take this for a sell, right? We want to take that for a sell because it's higher than 309 and the resistance is very, very, very high, right? And then the next area that the market is actually going to try to visit, if it breaks this resistance, right? Because what I'm thinking is going to happen is that it's actually going to come down, and then it's going to shoot all the way up to 323 because that's where it's trying to go right now, right? So we're going to see what happens with this trade, but as we can see, it's dropping, right? We're taking advantage of what we already know is happening in the market. Luckily for us, we already did our markups. We put 3 lines on the chart. We were able to find 3 different entry points. We know 286 was decent, 309 was decent, 323 is going to be the next spike that we're going to experience in the market. And how do we know that? Because that's what it did before, right? The market does the same thing every single time, right? But sometimes it does break structure, and that's why it's nice to have multiple entries in the same direction of the trend, right? If that makes sense, guys, I really hope I'm making sense. Just drop some sevens in the chat, right? And Margaret just cleared again. It's Freaky Friday. It's Freaky Friday, right? Y'all know I love me some trading. Recently, I've been focused on a lot of mindset calls, but I love trading, right? It's really fun for me. Just to be able to come in here and make money. It's just changed my lifestyle. I don't have to work, right? If I don't want to. So this is what we're talking about today, guys. We're talking about Webslinger. We're talking about trading on trend. We're talking about how to use these products and tools to your advantage, and how easy and simple it could be. Because most people finding they struggle finding entry points. Um, but it is really not the entry points because sometimes your analysis is right, but you may just be impatient. Sometimes you may try to trade against the trend. Sometimes maybe you didn't set up a second area of resistance or maybe even a third area of resistance. So now you're focused on one entry point and you're stressed about if you missed the entry or not, right? It's so simple. So I hope you guys are learning something today. I hope you guys are making money today. If you are getting into these trades, because it's a training session, but of course, if you're paying attention, if you're trusting yourself to understand what we're talking about here, then you also will be able to earn some money. So it's definitely a learn and earn session. So for people who thought we still wasn't trading, for people who thought we wasn't making money, for people who thought we wasn't showing up, like this is, we're still showing up, right? We're still getting to the bag every single day. Let me actually record this one as well. and put it on Instagram and let them know that we are about to clear, right? About 25 points in profit, which is amazing, right? Which is amazing. And I love it. I love, love, love it. So, guys, I think that's all for today. I don't want to repeat myself, right? I don't want to keep saying the same thing because it's that easy. This video will be posted on YouTube, of course, right? It will be posted on YouTube along with the rest of the videos that I posted. The videos also have playlists. So if you like the web slinger strategy and you feel like, wow, I really learned something and this really makes sense today, just watch the web slinger playlist on the Money Mantras YouTube, right? Next time we'll go over a different strategy and I'm going to show you it's the same exact thing. Like once you start to recognize the pattern in your mind, right? Once you can see the MW without anything on your chart, then it's amazing, right? And that's just another way to look at the market called essentially like the naked market or the naked scanner, which I also have a playlist on as well. So I value you guys' time. Thank you for coming through and learning with me today. You can definitely pass on the information, let everybody know that the money mantra, of course, is back, always back. But I tend to just tell everybody to stream on YouTube because you can learn on your own time, right? But the live sessions are always fun and I love it. So I will be back Monday at 2 o'clock p.m. with another on the chart session, right? Where we will be doing training strategies and a little bit of trading. And then Wednesdays, of course, we're off the charts and we're on chapter 6 of the science of getting rich. So it's been my pleasure. Love you too, Jordan. It's been my pleasure. And I'll see you guys on Monday.